It's the Joe Show.
It's the Joe Show!
With me, Joe. It's Technology Tuesday, which means I'm going to read an article that relates to technology. Today's article actually is not really an article, but it's more of signs and symptoms of something called burnout. If you're not familiar with burnout, congratulations. You don't work a high-stress job, or maybe you're just a happy-go-lucky person. Burnout tends to affect us who work in the high-stress job of technology. So first we gotta find out what the hell is burnout, then we gotta find out what the symptoms of burnout are, and then I'm gonna take a test to find out if I'm burnt out. Because you know what? I feel like I look burnt out, and I feel like I am burnt out, even though I just went on a very small holiday this past weekend. I think it's important, and it relates to technology, so we're gonna talk about it. But if you don't wanna talk about it, too sensitive, then leave. Get out of here. You ain't burnt out. You're too fresh. So, what is burnout? Burnout is the loss of meaning in one's work, coupled with mental, emotional, or physical exhaustion as a result of a long-term unresolved stress, which sounds like my life for the past 5 years. Burnout can affect anyone. However, there's a growing number of entrepreneurs, business owners, and freelancers who are reporting symptoms of burnout, up to 60% in the UK. In the article, they detail 5 stages of burnout. Let's find out what they are. The first phase is called the honeymoon phase. It kind of sounds romantic though, you know? I kind of want to be in this stage with my burnout. I want to meet the honeymoon stage, hopefully in Thailand. When we undertake a new task, we often start by experiencing high job satisfaction, commitment, energy, and creativity. This is especially true of a new job role or the beginnings of a new business venture. In this first phase of burnout, you may begin to experience predicted stress of the job. So it's important to start implementing positive coping strategies, such as taking practical steps in your job or prioritizing your mental health, maybe even taking a vacation. Common symptoms of the honeymoon phase include commitment to the job at hand, compulsion to prove oneself, free-flowing creativity, high production levels, high productivity levels, job satisfaction. Man, these are things that I have not experienced, I feel like, in years. Maybe that's true. I was gonna say maybe it's not true, but I think it's actually kind of true. I might be past the honeymoon stage. Let's find out what the next phase is. Phase 2 is the onset of stress. The second stage of burnout begins with an awareness of some days being more difficult than others. You may find your optimism waning, as well as notice some common stress symptoms affecting you physically, mentally, or emotionally. Definitely feel like I've been here for quite some time. The common symptoms here include anxiety, avoidance of decision making, changes in appetite or diet, fatigue, forgetfulness, general neglect of your personal needs, grinding your teeth at night. No, do not do that. Take care of your teeth. If there's one thing you can do, take care of your teeth and make sure your teeth look good, because if you got good teeth, people respect you. Lack of sleep, lack of social interaction, lower productivity, unusual heart rhythms. Cool. I've been there. I also have a heart problem, so that's not great news. There's actually things that I think you can do to fight this onset of stress, which include working out and exercising, which I feel like can help fight against things like anxiety, changes of appetite, fatigue, general neglect of personal needs. If you're taking care of yourself, the onset of stress phase, I feel like you could even skip over, or you might even skip over if you're experiencing burnout. And now we enter phase 3, which is chronic stress. The third stage of burnout is chronic stress. This is a marked change in your stress levels, going from motivation to experiencing stress on an incredibly frequent basis. You may also experience more intense symptoms like those of stage 2. Common symptoms here include aggressive behavior, apathy, chronic exhaustion, cynical attitude, decreased sexual desire, denial of problems at work or at home, feeling threatened or panicked, feeling pressured or out of control, increased alcohol or drug consumption. Guys, I'm not stressed at all. Lack of hobbies. I mean, this is kind of my hobby, so this doesn't apply to me. Missed work deadlines or targets, physical illness, persistent tiredness in the mornings. Man, do I feel that so bad. I'm always tired in the morning. I don't think I've ever had a day where I woke up and been like, woo, time to get the day going. Uptake in escapist activities, probably like, phone games. I don't play those either. Who plays those? I might be experiencing some chronic stress because I'm definitely doing some of those things, which is, things like escapist activities, missed work deadlines, lack of hobbies. No, I have a hobby. Apathy. I've been really apathetic lately. Decreased sexual desire. Who's to say? So I might actually be a little bit in chronic stress phase, but what's phase 4? Burnout. Entering stage 4 of burnout is where symptoms become critical. When burnout is talked about more generally, this is a stage that is often referred to. Continuing as normal is often not possible. Common burnout symptoms include behavioral changes, chronic headaches, chronic stomach or bowel problems, complete neglect of personal needs, continuation or increase in escapist activities, desire to drop out of society, desire to move away from work or friends or family, feeling empty inside, self-doubt, self-isolation. Now, I'm definitely not in the burnout phase if that's what we're describing burnout as, but I've been creeping ever more slightly toward it as this year has been going on, for sure. I can even point to a couple things in here like pessimist outlook and desire to move away from work as things that I've for sure had on my mind and been thinking about, maybe even lately. Who's to say what even comes after burnout? I'm afraid it's death of your mind. Stage 5 is habitual burnout. The final stage of burnout is habitual burnout. This means that the symptoms of burnout are so embedded in your life that you are likely to experience a significant physical or emotional problem as opposed to occasionally experiencing stress or burnout. Common symptoms may include depression, chronic sadness, chronic mental fatigue, chronic physical fatigue, and burnout syndrome. It almost sounds like habitual burnout can't be cured and that it's chronic. I mean, it says here chronic sadness, chronic mental fatigue. Habitual burnout means that you make a habit out of it, and almost, like I said, it sounds like you cannot get out of the cycle of burnout. Man, do I not want to get there. I feel like I'm definitely creeping around in stage 3 and stage 2, maybe even moving towards complete burnout at stage 4, but that's just my feeling. Let's find out what this test has. The whole reason that I even started this video is because I found this test called burnoutindex.org. And we need to discover our risk, or I need to discover my risk, and through me you can discover your own risk. So I'm going to check my burnout risk level here. Clicked on the button. Instructions, we're going to ask me about my emotions and perceptions regarding my current job. Please rate them from a 0 to 6 according to the frequency of each one. Time, 2 minutes. I'm going to be honest, even though I have some of my coworkers that might even watch this. I find it difficult to relax after a day of work. Every day. I didn't even know you can relax. Is that a thing? After a day of work, I feel run down and drained of physical or emotional energy. A few times a week, probably. I definitely feel drained of emotional energy lately, for sure. I feel less and less connected and engaged with the work I do. I'd say I'm at probably once a week at this point, if not a few times a week, maybe even a few times a week. Depends on the thing that I'm doing at work, you know. I'm going to say a few times, once a week at least, once a week. I do not have a clear idea of how the value and purpose of my job. This is something new that I've been experiencing lately, and this is, so I'm gonna say once a week, but this past week I've started having this feeling of I don't know what the value and purpose of my job is. I'm harder and less sympathetic with people than perhaps they deserve. That's gonna be a few times a week. I'm definitely guilty of that, especially with colleagues. Not proud of that, but it's happening. I'm worried that this job is making me harsher emotionally. That's definitely also a few times a week, at least right now. I feel like I'm achieving less than I should. That's almost every day, for sure. That's almost every single day. In my opinion, I'm inefficient at my job. That's a few times a week at this point. Yeah. I'll be out of this company in the next 6 months. I'm going to say I disagree with that. I strongly disagree with that, actually. It's not going to happen. On a scale of 1 to 10, how likely would you be to recommend a company to a friend or colleague as a place to work? I'm at about a 6 right now. Maybe 5. No, I'm at a 6. I think I'm at a 6. To finish, we just need 3 quick questions about your demographics to provide even more accurate results. How do I identify myself as male? How old am I? I think I'm this age. I'm 33. Do you have any direct or indirect reports at work? Yes. How many direct or indirect reports do you have at work? At least 3. Maybe 4. Show my results. 5 out of 6. My burnout risk is high. Having a high burnout risk means you have more probabilities to negatively impact your job performance, productivity, and creativity. This also implies risk for your physical and mental health and could affect your social relationships. That's cool. So I'm almost at full burnout according to the burnout index. According to the other definition, I'm probably in stage 3, but according to this, I'm at stage 5 of 6, or I'm at a very high risk to become burnt out, which I could have guessed was the case. So what do I do to fix this? To improve my risk level, we recommend to focus on the main risk factors for you. In my case, depersonalization and exhaustion are the ones that impact me the most. Please read the recommendations below. And if in doubt, talk to a professional. My stats: I have high exhaustion, pretty high cynicism, very high depersonalization, and very high self-inefficacy. Also, each one of these has a see more button, which we can dive into, but you know what? We just don't have time to do this on the video. Maybe that's my apathy talking. Maybe it's not. Who knows? What I can do, though, I think, is continue doing therapy, practice some mindfulness and meditation, definitely get exercise. I think that's one of the most important things that you can do to help fight against burnout. And then also find gratitude or joy, I guess, in my job again. Just the fact that I have a job, that I enjoy my job, and that it allows me and empowers me to do things that I am very lucky to be able to do compared to everyday people. So I guess my burnout rate could come down if I just do these things. How are you feeling, though? Are you feeling burnt out? Did you take the test? If you took the test, let me know in the comments what you got. Are you feeling burnt out at your job? Are you feeling burnt out from the coronavirus pandemic, from the quarantine, from the lockdown, from the year that 2020 has been? How are you feeling? Let me know. Let's talk about this, because if you keep it inside, you're going to have even higher risk of burnout. But if you're communicating it and chatting with somebody who's also burnt out, maybe you can help each other along and become accountability buddies. So let me know in the comments how you're feeling with your own burnout. That's been today's Joe Show. I hope you learned something. I hope this is I hope you take this topic seriously for yourself and for your friends. If you find a cool tech article, you can then send it to me, hijoeshow@gmail.com. Remember to mash that subscribe button and hit the bell to get a notification every time I upload a new video. I look forward to growing this channel with you. Until next Tech Tuesday, tech something good, 'cause I love you.